Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, join me as yesterday I tracked down an attractive Vacheron Constantin 1907 chronometre Royal. On the way I did find quite a few nice watches trading at fractions of their original retail prices, such as this interesting Chopard and another Vacheron. Indeed, there are many good deals, so many watches on the market, and always good to see the valuations of our favorite Rolex models. So many available on the market as well. And yeah, as I'm going through the streets, in this case of Mongkok, a very busy district of Hong Kong, my mind just races because there's just a couple of times a year where I scan the market and find some great deals. And just as I'm getting closer to pulling a trigger, I see something else that's interesting, and then I compare those deals, those non-Rolex watches trading at way below their original retail. I compare them to the Rolex watches that have been on the fence because they trade above their retail, and I'm thinking, oh, what should I do? In the end, it's very difficult to choose. There's so much available, and the only thing you can do is just buy with your heart and yeah, be a bit careful. It was pouring rain in Hong Kong, as you can see, a bit of the remnants of typhoon that passed close to the city. And there's also vintage, right? But vintage has increased so much and then hasn't really moved for a long time. So a lot of people advise you to buy a vintage Rolex. It's of course a minefield, and of course they probably bought theirs half of what the current valuations are. Some very cool watches available, even from Rolex, some unusual models like this rose gold tuxedo OP, and lots of those day Tudors still available, around 2,000 bucks. Buys you one of those. And all our favorites are available. So I try to show you a different brands on this video. Everything that really catches my eye, and it's just endless, right? So many temptations here in Hong Kong. So yeah, as I said, my mind just makes calculations. And to be honest, the main metric this year is that I can't afford anything. We're gonna travel 3, 4 times with the family, so pretty much all my money goes into flights and hotels. And in Hong Kong, you tend to think you have more money than you really going to end up with at the end of the year after paying your taxes and saving some, because eventually we'll have to leave the city if we want to buy a house somewhere. So you got to think about saving, and watches are not really the best investments you can make, but they do feel good. It's good to see them. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, whether you find a cool vintage Rolex or a micro brand. There's a lot of stuff available, as you can see on the screen. So I hope you're enjoying these pictures. Yeah, my target today is an anniversary of the chronometre Royal, a pocket watch that Vacheron did in the early 20th century, especially for the South American market. I believe a very elegant but robust type of pocket watch. And through the decades, they often came back and released limited editions of that model. And there is a rose gold version with the red 12 that it's a bit rarer, that came out not so long ago. It was the anniversary, probably the 100th anniversary, I think. The more common one is the one I'm looking after today, is the yellow gold. I think there's even a steel one. And I had seen a white gold version here for sale as well. They're very nice, very elegant watches, beautiful cases, enamel dials, and of course a beautiful Vacheron Geneva seal movement. But there you go, so many nice watches. Toujours Le Coultre. The Patek Philippe 5960 is one of those watches that does everything. And you can get the platinum for, after all, a reasonable price. And what about these lefty collectibles? collectible already. I think I really would like to have one. And check out this AP here. It says on the card, I believe, that the dealer will keep the card. So hush, hush a little bit. Someone is reselling their very nice code 1159 chronograph. Beautiful dial. What an impressive watch. But the dealer will keep the card for a while to protect the guilty. So yeah, I always look at this Patek. Maybe that's my favorite version of the 5960, and always like to see the blue dial Yachtmaster here at a very good price. Sometimes some people have changed the dial. You know, they had the silver dial and they put the blue dial. Cool Tudor, really vintage one, 16,000 Hong Kong dollar. That's about $2,000. Quite interesting. Looks almost like these Porsche designs long before Porsche design even existed. Always like the white dial Milgauss. Who knows in 20 years which ones of these watches will be the most collectible, but certainly those stone dials, Rolex, are always collectible. Doesn't mean it's going to earn you any money, and of course, if you love them, why would you ever sell them? But that's also the thing you have to juggle with in your mind. You want to enjoy as many watches as possible, and without losing too much money when we sell them. And some of those watches are very difficult to sell. The market has been super slow, and maybe I'll do a video this week about the latest Swiss export figures, as we witness some rare Patek Calatrava and high demand Rolex, Daytonas. A bit of modern, bit of vintage on the Uptick Watch Reviews channel. If you're not subscribed, why don't you hit it afterward? I think most people watching my videos are not even subscribed, but I want to thank my faithful subscribers. More than 25,000 of you now. It's not bad. And it's all organic growth. I've never paid for any service to increase my viewership. And of course, you can always send me your collection reviews. I just did one, uptickwr@gmail.com. So which watches are catching your fancy? Maybe the Oyster Quartz here. Anyway, we got to Vintage Universal 1954. Last time I had a good experience, and I bought a Vacheron Overseas 2nd Gen. Let's see what they have. Some cool Oyster Quartz, another tuxedo dial. Datejust. I think I said OP earlier on. Those are Datejust watches, 36 millimeters. I love those cream dials. More Tudor date days, so there's still a lot on the market here in Hong Kong. One of the last places where they were sold a bit of vintage Tudor flavors. But here we are. Bang! Look at everything they got in this shop. They have this Quai de Lille, also interesting with that nice complication. And this is the one I wanted to see, the Chronomètre Royal. I believe this is yellow gold with an enamel dial, beautiful hands, just a fantastic watch. And this one here is naked, no box, no papers, which is a big factor also why it comes at the lowest price on the market. So around 120,000 honky, that's 15,500 US, I believe. You'd have to pay 2,000-3,000 more for the full set. But of course, the condition matters even more than the full set to me. Of course, if the watch is naked, it could be stolen, or it could be, maybe a disgruntled ex-wife or girlfriend. Man, there is so much stuff available here. Look at this gorgeous dial, a coral red Yachtmaster. And after all, for a full gold Rolex, wow, this is a good price. Sorry, my camera work got really shaky. I was actually filming when I was not filming when I was looking at the watches, so I had to cut a bit. But anyway, I had a few pictures. They also have a 42 millimeter chronograph version of the Duomètre JLC at an incredible price. Man, that's less than a third of the new versions. There's a nice chronograph AP as well that I wanted to see and to compare a bit the chronometre royal with something similar. They also had an 1815 longer naked again. So do you take the risk buying naked? Sometimes I do if the watch is in great condition. What often happens is that the watches are bought by Chinese abroad, and then they toss everything away so that they don't get a risk of being caught at the frontier. And of course, the dealers in Hong Kong pick up those watches at peanut prices. Look at it, beautiful case. Look at those rounded lugs, and it wears amazing. 39 millimeter enamel dial, just beautiful. This is not the original strap, of course. Unfortunately, behind the counter was not the same guy as last time, an older gentleman who had a good chat with when I bought my VC overseas. This time it was a young punk, not very pleasant to deal with. And usually when it's the case, I'm already turned off because there's just no conversation. And it's a high luxury watch, and not that I expect a luxury experience in those shops, but I think you'd like to know that you're buying from someone who's a bit knowledgeable. And I don't know, the guy was just very unpleasant. So maybe I'll go back and maybe I'll have a better chance if the um, the older gentleman I mentioned is there. The price is yeah, it's interesting, right? The thing is, if you buy naked, it's harder to resell. So you have to be sure you want to keep it for a long time. Of course, the warranty has expired. It doesn't really matter so much. This is not the rarest version. The rarest, as I said, is a rose gold with a 12 in red, but this one is equally beautiful. Enamel dial, gorgeous caliber, right? So you get so much for your money. This is the price of, for example, a Chopard Alpine Eagle, brand new in the shops, and there's actually one that I'm eyeing, a very rare version, limited for the Japan market. So which one to choose? That's what's on my mind. Which one to choose? Which one will I wear the most? This one is great, but I'm not sure I'm going to wear it all that much. I already have two Patek dress watches and other dress watches. So it's not that I need it at all, but it's just that it's a model that caught my eye the first time I saw it, and I thought if I find a good deal, maybe I will get onto it. I'm not quite sure. Objectively, for an enthusiast, this one has everything, and at that price, you get so much watch. So it's just something about falling in love. You gotta love it and make sure that you're gonna wear it. I'm not sure, to be honest. If I buy this, that's it for my budget this year. I can't afford getting something else because it's very difficult to sell something else. So I'm trying to balance what I can sell at what price with what I have, and I'm thinking, what can I trade for this? I was wearing actually my Garrick, and I showed it to that obnoxious guy, and he didn't know what it was. So that's also a sign that. Yeah, it's maybe not meant to be. Not that I would necessarily trade my Garrick, but I paid a lot more for my Garrick than for this watch. But yeah, my Garrick has an incredible dial. It has an in-house movement. It's not a Geneva seal of Vacheron, of course, but it's yeah, it's funny. So how sometimes your money goes on something, and you could have bought so many other things, and then you kind of regret. But that's all the things that goes on my mind. That go on my mind as I'm looking at these watches. Let me know if I'm crazy. If you are crazy, would you buy this watch? Just let me know in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Bye bye, guys.